Welcome to Shaneology's Paranormal Live Stream. Today, I've got some very amazing friends and guests, as you probably know, almost all of them, if not all. We've got, introduce yourselves, friends.
Hello there. I'm Kermit the Log.
Hey, this is Ben from yourselves at any time.
Hey, this is Ben from Fanatics Film. How's it going, man?
Hi, everyone. This is
Buddy.
Death by Saber.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
All right, guys. So I guess you guys aren't showing yourselves. Thank you guys for coming, guys. Let me just talk to the chat and see what we got going on here. It was a lot of people were here. Well, Mads Mama Bear is here. Hey guys, Michael Stark, thank you for coming. Sean Stackhouse, I'm glad you came. Fatal J, I don't know if he's still here, but he was been here for a while. Expanse Reviews, and who else? Let's see. Greg L was here. All you guys, thank you guys for joining us. And today, you guys have spoken. We are talking paranormal and hauntings, or ghosts and hauntings, rather. So. We were going to talk Phoenix Lights too, because there was a lot of people interested in the Phoenix Lights. You guys know what the Phoenix Lights are? Anybody? Anybody
The
here?
Northern Lights. Are they like the Northern Lights? Are they anything like the Northern Lights? So no, you're talking about the UFO sightings. Is that what you're talking about? The sightings that were happening there?
No, I don't know about them.
Death by Saber? Do you know?
These lights that appeared, I think they appeared over Arizona.
Phoenix.
Years back, and they say it could have been an experimental plane, like a stealth fighter or something, but people were freaking out.
And it was the 90s, right? So this was something that's why you've always pointed this out, Shane. You've always pointed out how interesting it is having something further back when the technology wasn't as prominent in everything. So this couldn't be homemade, that type of thing.
No drones, because it was 1997. There were no drones, so you can't actually confuse them for drones,
right?
And this has actually been well documented, and multiple people have seen this. But we'll get into that further down the road, because what we're going to start off with is what people wanted to hear, which was hauntings. And to be honest, guys, this is one of my favorite topics, just because I have a ton of actual haunting stories and ghosts. It's been my whole life actually with this stuff, more than anything else, just because I've actually have a lot of experiences with that stuff. I feel like if you're open to that stuff, it'll come after you, it'll engage you more. But so Kermit, you said you got a story. So what we're gonna do, guys, we're gonna start with some stories. We will keep them briefer than we did before. And so Kermit, tell us what's going on with you.
Well, dude, I don't know if I'd say I'd have a ghost story or not, but the last 2 or 3 weeks, bro, I've just been hearing little sounds all throughout my house, and always when I'm by myself, and it's something falling, and I'm like, how did this fall? Something fell onto my stove the other day from the top of my stove, and it wasn't an earthquake. Nothing happened, and I don't know. It's been freaking me out lately, and I have all the doors shut and everything. I don't know. I hope nobody died here.
Do you live alone?
No, I live with some family.
Oh, okay. Did anybody else see anything or have anything happen there as well, or just you?
No, nobody else has seen anything. So either I'm tripping or I'm taking the too good of drugs, or probably all of the above though. That scared me. Normally I hear noises, it doesn't really scare me, but for some reason I've been a little what the fuck was that? And I've gone to investigate, and that scared me a little bit.
Well, maybe it's these paranormal streams we've been doing. It's planting the suggestion in your mind. So. Now you're actually paying attention more.
If I had Ben to hold my hand with me to lead me into the scary place, I'd be okay. I'd be better, I think.
Kill. Would have been you and Ben. I'd love to see you guys holding hands on the bed,
just I could do that in San Francisco, Ben.
just you two together, just pulling the covers over your face and just going, I see dead people.
They can't be white covers though.
I see dead people. I whisper a lot.
I love that.
I can't stop whispering. Oh my gosh. I can't stop yelling.
I love that movie too.
Oh yeah, that to me was one of the scariest movies of its time. I think when it first came out, and then that twist, the one, M. Night Shyamalan was in the top of his game in those days,
Mhm.
and that twist at the end was pretty cool. How about you, Ben? You got some stuff? Black Hat Cinephile, thank you for joining, man.
Welcome, Mads Mama Bear, Michael Stark. Thanks so much for joining. Awesome, beautiful, wonderful friends, Michael Stark and Black Hat Cinephile. I have stories, but they're not ghost stories. So maybe if we have time, I'll insert mine later. That's what she said. Just kidding. I don't know. Sorry.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's.
I wanted to tell this story for the longest time, just because it just happened to me, and I don't know if I told you guys this. I don't think, Kermit, you never heard this, right? My grandfather just passed away,
Yes.
right? And it was like,
Sorry to hear that again, man.
Sorry?
I'm sorry to hear that again.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
We're all-
Me
Thanks,
too.
guys.
Sorry to hear that.
It was a bit sudden. No, like he was old. He was 90. He was in his 90s, right? So it's like, but he was healthy, and it just sort of kind of happened. Like there was no like, oh, he was sick and we had planned it or anything, like had room to prepare. It was just sort of like happened anyway. So the other day was like a couple of days ago. Well, the day he died, actually, it was the day he died. To be honest with you, me and my wife, we were at home and we were watching television. All of a sudden, the phone just starts ringing. We hear a phone ring. It's just ringing in the background. And I'm like, is that your phone? She says, no, it's not my phone. And I'm like, is that mine? And I'm looking around because I didn't even recognize the ring because it was some weird ring and it wasn't my ring. So I'm like, what the hell is, and I looked, it wasn't my phone. So I'm like, where is this damn ring coming from? So I walked around and I couldn't figure out the damn ring. And I'm walking into like all around the house. I traced it to the kitchen where, hey, Fatal J, what's up, man? I'm telling a ghost story. I'm glad you're here. So I traced this ring into the kitchen, and I'm hearing it, but I don't see anything. I'm hearing the ring, but I can't see where it's coming from. So I finally figured out it's coming from one of our junk drawers, and I pulled open the junk drawer, and in one of the Ziploc bags with an old cell phone. We're talking like this is a year old, like it's from long, like it hasn't been activated. The SIM card isn't even in. It shouldn't even have juice. I don't even know how it's even on, like has juice. And it's ringing in a Ziploc bag. So I pull it open and I'm like, what the hell's going on? This is insane. How is it doesn't have a SIM card? It hasn't been like it should have nothing, it shouldn't be working at all. And so the thing is it's locked and I couldn't remember the code to get in. So I couldn't open it. Like I wish I could have, and then I would have heard my grandfather, just going, Shane, how's it going? But that's
Wow.
it would have been great. But he didn't say that. I would have loved to. But I tried everything to get that phone open. I couldn't remember it, the code. So I couldn't answer it. I really kind of screwed me up a bit because I was like, why is this like, that's insane. Like, first of all, this thing shouldn't be ringing. You know what I mean? Like, this is something that has never, for an entire year, this thing's in a Ziploc bag shouldn't have no juice at all and no SIM card. How the heck is this thing ringing?
I pictured your politically incorrect uncle being on the other end of it. The character that you made with the mustache, that guy. No. Sorry, no, I just pictured.
Billy?
Yeah. No, the other. Yeah, is it Billy? Well, anyway, yeah, I think so.
Oh no, you mean the other guy, my Uncle Joe?
Yes, your Uncle Joe.
Oh, that guy.
Never mind.
Yeah, I should do a character based on him. Actually, to be honest, that was the initial voice of Billy when I first was working it out.
Okay.
But I didn't want to offend my uncle, so I didn't do it.
Yeah, that's bizarre. That's really weird.
Yeah, I'll DM. Okay, so Mama Bear says I'll DM. Hold on, here we go, guys. I'm just gonna start. I'll DM you later about what's up. But basically, I share your opinion about.
I want to know Mads Mama Bear.
I think is she.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I'll make. That's enough. That's enough reference to make me a regular. Awesome.
Hail Fatal J. Hail Mads Mama Bear.
Yeah, guys. So what did you guys like? I don't know. Like I've had a lot of these kind of experiences in the past. Like I did I tell you guys? I told you about my grandmother, right, when she passed away, which was actually the wife of this this was my grandmother. So they were the ones. So the whole thing when I was sleeping one night, and then like when I was like just me and my brother were in this house. We just had moved in. My parents hadn't even moved in yet, so because they were still in the old house. So it was just me and my brother, and I was lost. Like I wasn't even asleep. It was kind of like in between sleep and out and like awake. And I sleep with a mask because I'm very like I have insomnia.
Skeletor?
No, yeah. Can you imagine? I wake up, my wife sees Skeletor when she wakes up right beside me.
And he only dreams as Skeletor too, so his dreams are literally him being Skeletor are all around.
Actually, my wife probably wouldn't like me telling this story, but you know my wife, because sometimes she passes out and I'm like watching TV or something at night. She like or playing video games, and like she has this habit of like cackling in her sleep. Like she freaks the shit out of me. Like we're like, look, as dark as it is, like where I am right now, me sitting on the couch, she's sleeping like beside me, and all of a sudden I hear like she sounds like Jokey Smurf.
Wow.
You know how he used to, you know that freaked the shit out of me.
It's so funny.
Maybe you're just that funny, Shani.
Yeah, I'm so funny. My video game skills make her laugh.
That's crazy.
So, Shana, what do I think? You think can Phoenix Lights be a B-2 bomber? No, I don't think it could be a B-2 bomber. It was way okay. So, I'll go in between guys' stories and stuff, but the B-2 bomber is not as I've seen a bomber actually fly overhead when I was camping. From everything I've seen in the Phoenix Lights, the B-2 bomber is way too small to be a Phoenix Lights. The Phoenix Lights, we're talking, it was massive. They said it was the size of, I think, a couple of football fields. So it's that right away. We'll show some images of that. You want to look for some images of that, Ben?
I'll look for it. I'll look for the video.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because there's no explanation for what it is. If anything, people thought it was flares dropped in succession, but even people who handle flares say flares don't look like that. They don't.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
19 Fox, hey, how are you, man? Thank you for showing up to this paranormal live stream. But yeah, hold on. So anything else, Kermit? You got another story?
Yeah, actually, I do have one. My pops passed away a few years ago, maybe like 6 years ago, and he was a bookie my whole life, and he was just pretty much gambling and never really had a job. And when he passed away, his funeral, we got him cremated, so the funeral happened like 30 days after he passed. And the guy that he used to be a bookie with came up to me and said that my dad hit on this what do you call it? Like this running gambling thing where you take one baseball team, and if they win so many games, I don't really know how it went. It's baseball. I don't follow baseball, but the team that he hit on and he won, the bookie gave me a wad of cash. Was that my dad hit on the Angels, and I always just thought that was kind of cool, because he had just passed, and the team that won all this money posthumously was the Angels. But when I got that cash that day from the bookie, I came home and my dad had been dead for 30 days, and I got a phone call and it said his name calling my phone.
Wow.
Yeah. But then like when I answered, nobody was there. When I called back, it was somebody else answering the phone, and they were like in Washington, and they're like, yo, why you calling me? So I don't know.
But I've heard so many stories like that. Like that's where someone dies, and then like these like phone calls come that just like are weird like that.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Do you feel like I didn't mean to interrupt. Goddamn. Do you feel like that it could have been the people in Washington just butt dialing you, Kerm?
I don't know, but then that guy ended up calling me back like 2-3 times, and then I'd answer and nobody would be there, and I'd call back, and then he'd be like, "Why you keep calling me for?" So I don't know.
Oh, okay. Oh.
I'm not sure.
No, that's very interesting. It's crazy.
But it was like the combination of winning the money from a team named the Angels, and then I got the phone call on the same day. But I still am hesitant. I maybe believe there's like some higher kind of something we can't understand. But I don't know that I believe in ghosts necessarily.
Yeah.
I don't believe, because I'm one of, there's, like I've always said before, I believe there's difference between believing in something and knowing something. And when you've had a few instances like I've had, it's hard for me to say I believe or don't believe, because I've had stuff that I can't like, I haven't even told you the good stuff yet. Like, I haven't told you anything like compared to what I have. Because I've had some stuff that were just so messed up that I don't even know how else you could explain this. Because so I'll tell you this one because it's Christmas. So I'll tell you a nice Christmas story, guys. But you want to go fear the story first, or you hear? Let's do this first. Let's
just a real quick mental note though. Mad's Mama Bear says, I grew up in a haunted house. Lots of stories. We should definitely have Mad's Mama Bear on and talk.
Do you want to come on now, Mama? Do you want me to send you a link?
Oh wait, we didn't have to do. I didn't.
No, I don't mind. Like, if she wants to tell her story, I'd love to hear.
That
stories.
Sounds cool. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Go on. Let's watch this first, and I'll tell other stories. We'll do this in between.
All right, I'm gonna hit play.
Video analysis of the so-called boomerang lights seen that night over Southwest Phoenix.
People had what they called camcorders back then.
An anonymous source called Thinker Funker says he took the shaky video of the Phoenix lights and used a computerized stabilization technique. And he tries to debunk a U.S. Air Force claim that the Phoenix lights were actually flares dropped by National Guard A-10s on a training mission over the Goldwater Range.
So now I'm going to drop in a little graphics so that we can see how far or if the lights move at all in relation to the horizon.
The video goes on to play for about a minute, and the lights do not move.
5 flares stay perfect with one another. That's uncanny.
Except for the one that seems to split and go up.
They split into 2 and went up.
Flares can't do that. Flares drift and drop with the wind. They have huge smoke trails that are illuminated by the flare itself and illuminate the area around it. That's what they're used for.
Pause that for a second.
Hey, was that Christine Blasey Ford?
There's been people like there was a show called Fact or Fake. I don't know if you guys ever saw that, where they actually shot. They tried to debunk this, and they shot flares. They actually had a helicopter or a plane come by and shoot flare and do flares to compare what a flare would look like. It looked nothing like it. In fact, if you see what flares, they don't say uniform like that, and they definitely have a lot more. You can see the smoke on a flare.
Well, I mean, they'd be falling, right? I mean, that's like above everything else. They'd be falling. If they were flares, they'd be falling and smoking. That's not happening. They're hovering. I mean, wasn't that for like a period of time? Like how extended period of time that actually happened?
Oh, yeah, this was going on for a long time, and apparently, hang on, and apparently they had I think I know that this was something that almost everybody I think in Phoenix had seen at the time. It wasn't just 1 or 2 people had seen this. This was something everybody had seen, and I think it was not the mayor of Phoenix, the Arizona. You guys, we have premiers. What do you guys have as the head of your state? What do they called?
Secretary of State.
Sorry?
Are you talking about the Secretary of State?
Governor. I think it was the governor of California. Yeah, it was the governor of Arizona. I think it was him. He kind of had a press conference about it because everyone wanted to know what was going on. And he ended up sort of wearing an alien mask, saying, we found the culprit behind the Phoenix lights. And in the press conference, he had a guy with an alien mask come out and made kind of fun of the whole topic.
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember seeing that.
You got a lot of flack for that too. People were like, "Dude, we're taking this seriously, and you're taking it making a joke." And he said later on that he was actually just making a joke because he didn't want to freak people out because he had no clue what they were, and he was actually as scared as everyone else was about that and wanted to know the same thing.
That's interesting.
He said he regretted doing that as well. So you can keep going. You can go back with the thing.
I went back because they have a computer simulation of what some people saw that weren't recording and what they described. So I'm gonna play the computer simulation.
Well, before you do that, let me read.
It's called artist simulation. Here we go.
Hold on. All right, go. I'll read after. I'll read that after, Michael.
Oh wow.
Of what people saw, right?
Yes.
Purposely looking at the sky for a glimpse of the Hale-Bopp comet. They also caught a glimpse of a mile to 2 mile wide in some very credible reports, either orbs, giant balls of light that seem to be attached to something in a mile wide V formation, or actual craft.
They were called the Phoenix Lights. And
March 13, 1997.
Looks like an Aussie boomerang, right?
Yeah. V for Vendetta.
It looks like what's his name? Who's the bad guy in the new Star Wars? Kylo Ren. It looks like somebody shot some jizz and he caught it in the air.
I thought you were gonna say like Snoke's ship, because Snoke's ship has that same.
Let's go back to what hey Snow Dub, how's it going, bud?
Hell Snow.
Hell Snow Dub.
Hold on. Hold on. There was some. Let's get to some people's. Hold on. Before we go to his, let's go to Michael Starks. Let's read some of these stories.
Yeah.
So Michael Stark says, I have a few excellent stories, and my mother saw Hat Man. There's a lot of people talk about that Hat Man. Remember, we heard other people in the last stream talk about Hat Man. It's a very prominent character, or in like people see the Hat Man a lot. It's the same.
He was a character in a lot of old like 80s Twilight Zone episodes. They had a guy, they called him several different names, but he always had a hat. Cool.
A lot of people see him though. That's what the reason is. A lot of people actually see this, and there's been a lot of footage of this guy. I have a few excellent stories of my own. See the Hat Man disappear, and Light was behind him. She was scared, and she had no clue how many people saw the same entity. When you can play Hat Man doc trailer, we can play something like that after. Because there is a lot of Hat Man videos out there actually, and Black Cats NFL says, I believe there were many years my dad was still sabotaging me past his death. His parents were supporting his sabotagery of me because they're who he got his hate from in the first place. They are who.
Interesting.
I mean, when my mom passed away. Well, actually, since we're going in that direction, I'll tell my story. Since we're there. When my mom passed, hold on, let me just change the screen for a second here. No, that's not the one. Nope, that's not the one. What's the one? Nope. All right, let's go back to this. So when my mom passed away, my grandmother passed away. A lot of weird stuff happened in that. Like aside from the tapping of the shoulder, which I said that story last time, right? Where I was asleep. And then I was lying like kind of sleeping like this. I had a mask on. I have earplugs because I'm a very light sleeper and everything wakes me up. So it's kind of in and out of sleep. And I kind of like, I was in and out like half asleep. So I felt what woke me up was a tap on my shoulder. It was a hard tap like this. So like I actually thought it was my brother waking me up. And as a joke, I tried to grab his hand, like pretend I was asleep and just grab his hand and, just to like scare him. Like you tapped me. I was going to grab his hand quickly to scare him. So my hand kind of just brushed through air. And then I went like this with my mask. I looked around and my brother wasn't there. And I'm like, all right, what the hell was that? It was just very weird. But I took it as nothing. I just said, whatever. It was just a weird thing. So I went to bed. I went to drain the old weasel, make some pee-pee. Came back, went to bed. I put my thin mask down, laid my head down, and then another tap. My brother, then I was thinking my brother was there, and he's like crying, saying my grandmother had just passed away. And I was like, that was, that one really made me like, who the hell was that? Like, was that her telling me, like goodbye or something? Like that's sort of how you take those sort of moments and you don't know what to do with them, right? So. But after that incident, right, tons of stuff was happening in my place. I'd wake up and my light, which I turn off. Remember, I have to sleep with a mask on, so I can't sleep if there's light in the house in my room. So if I have to sleep with a mask, so sometimes I'd wake up and the light was on, and I'm like, this light can't be on because I would never have fallen asleep if this light was on. I would never have forgotten to turn it off. So and this was immediately after that happened. There was like time when I've taken a shower and the shower curtain just like flew to the ground out of nowhere. It never happened before that. Just all of a sudden, it just twice that happened where I'm just taking a shower and the shower curtain just boom to the ground. The bar and everything. You know, the bar that holds up.
Well, that's happened to me before.
Oh, whoa! Somebody wants to
No.
some paranormal nookie from the other side wants to speak.
Okay, you freaking liar! That happened to me too. It's just the shower curtain. It's just the shower rod falling because it's just all it's just all fixed up there.
Well, it never happened before, and it never happened since. So it's just one of those weird things. Now you could take one of those instances and say maybe, but that wasn't even the major stuff. That was just the little stuff. So one night, this is around Christmas. This is the big story, guys. I mean, I'm gonna put some spice and pepper in this one. So one Christmas morning, all through the house, not a creature was stirring except for some beastie. No,
my spouse.
Yeah, my spouse. No, I was single at the time, so I was living at I was living in a basement apartment at my mom's house, and so I was paying rent. Just so you guys know, I was mooching. Not that it matters. So I'm living. So I'm talking to my girlfriend at the time, and it was like 5 a.m. or actually, yeah, it was about 5 a.m. And we were talking. We were just blah 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 blah. And so I'm in my basement on my bed talking with her. All of a sudden, I hear, "Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light." Right? I'm like, what the frick? Why the hell are these people playing Christmas music at 5 a.m.? That's just retarded. I'm like getting angry because, why are they playing Christmas music? So, like, I thought it was like upstairs. Someone, my mom woke up or she decided, I'm going to put some Christmas music on. It's 5 a.m. And so I was like, all right, I got to go. And I'm like, this is annoying. I heard the volume go up. Maybe it was my imagination, but I heard the volume go up at some point. And so I'm hearing, so then I'm like, this is really weird because normally I'm in a basement. If you've ever lived in a basement, you can hear when someone's awake, you hear everything. You hear the click, clock, clock, and they're walking the shoes. You hear the footsteps. You'll hear the pipes when they turn it on. You hear all that stuff. This thing was squeaky cool. Whisper quiet. It's what it was, right? So I decided, okay, I got to figure this out because I usually hear people when they're up. I usually hear them. So I said, I'm going to stay on the phone with me. I got to go check this out. So I walk outside. I had to go out because I have a separate entrance. I had to go outside and then come back in. And when I went back in the house to like the main floor, everything was dark. There was like, I opened the door. The whole place was black darkness. But I hear, Bing Crosby going, "Have yourself a merry little Christmas." Blah, 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 blah. So I walk all the way to the living room where it is, and all I see are the flashing lights of the stereo on, right? And I'm like, this is insane. Why is this thing on? So I turned it off, turned on the light. I turned on the light, turned it off, looked around to see why this thing was on. Blah blah. I was like, this is weird. So I walked upstairs. Everyone was in bed. Checked to see where everybody was sleeping. So I went downstairs after turning everything off, and I'm like, this is crazy. Why did the music turn on? They wouldn't just turn on. It's never turned on before. That's really weird. And I even so jokingly, I said this to my girlfriend. Was like, "Ooh, you're haunted." I said, "Yeah, I know. Wouldn't it be crazy though if it turned on again after I turned it on?" Oh, not only did I turn it off, I tested it to see if the remote, because we had a cat, like maybe the cat stepped on the remote, the power, and it turned on. So when I tested it, I actually pressed power on the actual machine, and it was one of those multiple disc players. So it just said disc, and then the number. But you had to actually, for it to play, you had to press power, disc, and then hit the play button. So it didn't play automatically when the power goes on, just because I tested that. So I went downstairs and said, wouldn't this be awesome if it happened? Oh, wouldn't it be crazy if it happened again? Just as I said that, I hear Bing Crosby again going, "Have yourself a merry little," and I said this, "Fuck that. I ain't going nowhere this time." I just covered. I'm not getting up this time. That's it. Let it be on. That should be on.
So forgive me. So how many times did it end up doing that? How many times was it?
Well, I turned it off the first time, right? And I tested it. So when I went downstairs, it turned on again, even after I just turned it off. I did it twice. I didn't go back upstairs. I just let that thing stay on. I'm like, I ain't touching that shit.
Weird.
I said, that shouldn't happen the first time. For it to happen twice, I don't know. I don't know, like
that reminds me of, like, just forgive me, but it's like a lot of horror films. They'll tend to use sentimental or happy music, or music that tends to bring us with a down home feeling, like that song, and they'll use that in a twisted way. And to me, that's what it. The vision that you're the image that you're painting for us, this scene that's happening to you, feels like a horror movie. Like they're using that. Well,
it felt like a horror movie. Like, you know, Jason's like playing that music to make me unstable. Next thing you know, I go downstairs, I get in the bed, and like something like that happens. But that was an honest to God true story. A lot of little things happened too. Like I had there was like a a soap bottle like on the sink, and it just would like rock like this on its own. For no, like the cats would be staring, and then it would just boop, 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 like that out of nowhere. A lot of like that place was haunted. That other house I was at there was so much crap going on there. But yeah, those are my crazy stories. Believe it or not, if you guys want. So go back to the Phoenix Lights, guys. I know everybody's more interested in that.
No, I think that's I mean, personal experiences like you guys, like I said, as we all know, hopefully anyone in the chat, I'm the skeptic here. I'm the one who doesn't believe. I think it's all bullshit. I think all what you guys are saying, and I think anyone that has personal experiences like this that
you calling me a liar?
No, I think that whatever happened to you, I think is incredible and unbelievable. And at the same time, unbelievable for me personally. So because it's hard for me to even grab onto that. Anyway, who gives a shit? So whatever. It's crazy. It's a crazy thing, man.
Well, it's for anybody. Like honestly, I think we're all in the same boat though. Like if you don't have the experience, like the firsthand experience, it's hard to believe. Like even when someone says, you know, what happens, you're still like, yeah, I know this guy, I trust this guy. But maybe it's just his imagination. Maybe things went, you know what I mean? Like you don't know until you're there, until you actually have these experiences, right?
What do you guys think these Phoenix Lights were doing? What do you think their purpose was?
I think there was like some type of mating ritual.
Anal pro ritual?
Yeah, I don't know. Some angels are getting it on, or some aliens are getting it on, but somebody got fucked.
Yeah, aliens were out and about looking for fresh new buttholes to probe.
E.T. probe ass.
They're like the ones we've been probing. They're too loose, so we need new fresh meat. So they went driving around the neighborhood looking for fresh meat.
I think it's like a stupid even to ask this question, but have they made that porno?
Which one?
Oh shoot! Sorry, I think I got rid of Kermit accidentally.
Having sex with you?
Can you repeat that?
Have they made some type of anal probe alien porno video?
Oh, I'm sure they have. I'm sure there's more.
I could always search.
Sure they have. Yeah.
That would be my pleasure. I'd search it.
To answer this question honestly, this is one of those where I don't believe it's aliens.
What do you think it is?
I think this one I think is an experimental aircraft.
I think so too. That's what I'm leaning towards. Too. Yeah.
I feel like this one was like maybe like an army like an experiment to see how people react. I feel like this is one of those where they show something like massive, it comes out, everyone shits their pants, don't know what happened, and then they just start taking notes about what that's what I believe this particular one was. And you know me, I'm a believer, but this particular one,
yeah.
So you want to hear this guy, this old guy here?
Is that Joe Biden?
Yeah.
And there's Lazy Ford.
Lazy Ford.
I'm gonna go back.
Christine and then Brett Kavanaugh jumped out of a spaceship.
Every once in a while, it's when you think it's gone, it comes back.
The video was shot by Mike Kristen, shot from his backyard in Moon Valley. We talked to Mike in 1997, just days after the sightings.
You're convinced these lights were this side of the mountain?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the reason I say that is because the lights were lower than the mountains. The direction that this occurred in was south-southwest. Was the direction, which is looking straight ahead. You can see the range back there.
19 years later, Kristen says he's still waiting for a logical explanation.
The video that I had, though, it's like I say, it's been around the world, and many many people have seen it. I thought by now somebody would have an answer to this thing, and nobody has come up with anything logical.
He doesn't think they're flares, but he's not going to bother arguing his case any longer.
People that believe in the flares are not going to believe in anything else.
I don't know what they are, but I know that they are.
Dr. Kitai isn't sure what they are either, even after 19 years of research. Still, she hopes to find out and hopes to keep the discussion going.
And it's time we get this topic out in the open. We address it, we accept it, and we study it so we can move forward and not only find out who's driving these things, but also move forward in our own evolution.
Linda Williams, Fox 10 News.
I really love these animated interpretations. I do love them. I think they're really fun to watch. Like I was always fascinated growing up as a kid, just having these air vehicles like this. I mean, that would be pretty amazing to see. Imagine if that was real. Imagine if there's something like that was actually real. I mean, the U.S. government's coming out recently with a lot of stuff. With their agreements with the Tic Tac and all these things. You'd think that they would at least address this, but it's kind of silly, man. So this just came out.
Well, I mean, listen, it's one of those things. Like, I'm a big believer. I've always been a believer. I'm a believer in the phenomenon, whether or not I'm a believer in what 100%. I don't believe anything 100% because you always have to keep a margin. I always like to keep a margin of of error just in case, because there could be fakery of anything. Like you said, the government could be faking things, could be psyops, just trying to, things like that just try to screw with us. Did Kermit leave or did I kick him off? Sorry, Kermit, did I do that?
Did I do that?
I think so.
Wake up.
Oh, did I do that? I don't remember doing that. It was haunted. But it was ghosts. But yeah, I think like for the phenomenon itself, I do think there are real things happening, right? But I also think that at the same time as real things are happening, I do think that governments, not just the American government, I think Russian governments are running psyops and things like that to screw with us, which like it probably is better. They do that probably to keep us also not really believing because, they fake things, they muddy the waters because, what is fake? What is real? We don't know. Like I bet you today, if they landed a UFO right on landed on the White House lawn, and green guys did come out of it, I guarantee half the population still would be like, "Nah, it's bullshit." Because people be like, "Oh, that's just some prank." We don't know. We don't believe it. It's CGI. Until I see it, I believe. You know what I mean? It's so weird to believe in anything now. Hold on. Fail J says, read the Book of Enoch. It speaks about how fallen angels taught humans the art of war, which plants. Well, we've talked about the Book of Enoch before. I think of the Sumerian texts. Reach plants to make drugs, even teaching women how to paint on their face, aka makeup. LOL, kid you not. Yeah, we discussed that before about. That's really just what Ancient Aliens is really mostly about. Is those things. Like,
that reminds me of the city of Enoch. Am I wrong? Is that the same Enoch, or is that the different?
It's like I think it's a Bible passage from.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about the city of Enoch.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm looking it up now.
Look it up. Black Hat Cinephile says, I believe in aliens were invented for in case people see humanoid things that aren't human. The occult rulers would rather us to believe it's something else other than what it really is. Yeah, I've thought of that too. Black Hat. I don't know if you guys believe in that. Kerm, you believe in that?
Sorry, dude. I had to run to the bathroom real quick. What are you guys talking about? Believing in what?
Well, Black Hat Cinephile pretty much just said something about how they want us to believe that aliens are from outer space when they're probably demonic. I'm pretty sure that's where he was headed with that.
That's an interesting assessment. I could
see how both could be the same thing too. I mean, I definitely believe more in demons and stuff like that than I do in aliens, but I kind of believe in both now. Did I already say I didn't believe in aliens? I think I do now. I don't know, but definitely believe in demonic stuff. But I also think that like those lights, the 4 lights you're just showing us, that could be just like the government, like somebody was saying, just putting something phony out to kind of hide in plain sight the real alien type stuff.
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Oh no,
I had a,
Oh, go ahead, Ben.
Yeah.
okay. I was
I searched this video of the Queen Mary. I've been to
that's the fake Titanic, right?
Yeah, the Queen Mary. I've been to the Queen Mary. They say it's haunted. There's people have died on the Queen Mary, and that they're still haunting the ship to this day. I've been on the tour where they take you down to the engine room. It's creepy, scary. You hear all kinds of weird stuff. You feel you feel cold and stuff down there. You feel like there's something down there. But I'm gonna play this video that shows like different areas of the ship.
Do you know what year?
I've always wanted to go to the Queen Mary. I've never actually been. It's one of those places I've wanted to go see.
It looks like a Planned Parenthood.
Last Planned Parenthood, yeah. Where do you know when this was when it was built? Queen Mary.
No.
That is pretty creepy.
Hey, look, Megs.
Because all white people look alike.
Yeah, damn whiteys. Well,
it's pretty wild.
Well, I mean, we can't really see. Is it going to show any paranormal stuff happening, or is it just like what it looks like?
I'll look for another video.
The thing,
Gosh, don't they have any real ghosts in here? Come on, what's going on with this?
Yeah, show us the real stuff, man. We're holding out on a DBS. But you know the funny part about that ship was like, I think because its history is so vast, because it wasn't just a cruise liner, right? It was actually used in wasn't it World War II? It was fitted as a warship as well.
I got the story right here. Do you want me to read it real quick?
Yeah,
it's just a short little thing.
Read it. But you have to say once upon a time first.
Once upon a time in a galaxy far, far away, on May 27th, 1936, the Queen Mary departed from Southampton, England, embarking on her maiden voyage. She boasted 5 dining areas and lounges, 2 cocktail bars and swimming pools, grand ballroom, a squash court, and even a small hospital. The Queen Mary had set a new benchmark in transatlantic travel, which the rich and famous considered as the only civilized way to travel. She quickly seized the hearts and imaginations of the public on both sides of the Atlantic, representing the spirit of an era known for its elegance, class, and style. Blah blah blah. Since her return, anyway, that's all it said. Sorry, I thought I was grabbing onto some interesting more. There's just too much to read here. Sorry, I'll do some homework on it and get back to you.
Do you want to read something about the Book of Enoch, since they seem to be interested in the Book of Enoch? Like, is there anything there? We could figure out exactly what the Book of Enoch is. What's the deal with the Enoch?
The Enochs.
Yeah, we are the
We're used to Minox here.
Enochs.
We're used to Minox.
That's
right.
Is that another way of saying eggnog?
Eggnog. Oh, this is the season for it.
Enoch 39:4. There I saw another vision. I saw the habitations and resting places of the saints. The best evidence is the fact that the book predates Jesus and gives a multitude of prophecies from him. Let's see. Let me pull up some of these here.
I really like the history of the Catholic Church.
Okay, here we go. I found it. Sorry. Angels were actually messengers. Angel is a transliteration of the Greek word and not a translation. To transliterate. Okay, yeah, there we go. So anyway, angels is a trend. Okay. So I'm going to go back into this. I have to do this is going to require a little bit of research.
Damn it. We should have everything right on our fingers.
Oh, this is interesting though.
Have you guys heard about Ezekiel's wheel?
No.
That's actually like interesting too, because that's actually one of the things people talk about in the Bible that like the actual, like the New Testament, I believe it, or I think it's in both, that that prove that aliens exist. And it's one of the very, like, there's a lot of stuff in the Bible that prove, but Ezekiel's wheel, let's see if I can find that Ezekiel's wheel. Because that one is very interesting to me, because there are people, it's basically, actually, you look up that, I look up some Ezekiel. You want me to put this up for you, DBS?
Yeah, you want to hear? This one has audio, and it's about 7. I guess it says 7 stories, ghost stories on the Queen Mary.
Wow.
Let's. Here, I will.
Queen Mary was to be the flagship of the Cunard White Star cruise line when she was launched in 1936. The Queen Mary was then the longest ship in the world at 1,019 feet long. She was longer than the Eiffel Tower was tall. The RMS Queen Mary was a giant of the ocean and known for being bigger, faster, and even more powerful than the Titanic. The craftsmanship that went into making her was the best of the time, and even today, the Queen Mary is considered to be among the most elegant passenger ships ever built. During the working life of the RMS Queen Mary, the stately North Atlantic liner played host to all the biggest names of the time, including celebrities, art.
No, I'm skipping ahead.
Shining photos.
Number 7, John Pedder.
John
Crew
Pedder.
of the Queen Mary were running a routine emergency drill early on July the 10th, 1966. 18-year-old crew member John Pedder was near the engine room during the drill, and he attempted to squeeze his way through door 13.
Yeah, this guy
as
got
it was
cooked.
completing its
Spoilers.
60-second closing process. Pedder made a
Meant to
grave
breathe.
calculation about how long the door had left to close, and the poor boy was crushed to death
Oh,
by the
sorry.
door. His body was nearly severed in two. Pedder
And it had
is
to be
now
13, eh?
affectionately known by the name Half-Latch Harry, and he can
Ah,
sometimes be spotted in the corridors and elevators
Ha,
around the
ha.
engine room. Visitors to Shaft Alley, the narrow passage between the store and the engine room,
poor bastard
report being
Pedder.
followed by a bearded
I
man
thought that was
in
Rachel Maddow.
dated work overalls. They report that this man will suddenly disappear near door 13, the door that killed young Pedder. There are several other claims, including people having their clothes and purses grabbed, banging on pipes, and also greasy handprints appearing seemingly out of nowhere. Former tour guide for the Queen Mary, Nancy Ann, discussed her own encounter with the ghost of Pedder. I don't know why I turned around, but I turned around, and standing right behind me on the step was a man. He had on blue overalls, and they were dirty. When I stepped aside to let him go by, he wasn't there. He was gone. Did Nancy feel Pedder's presence? Was that what made her turn around? What happened to the man she saw? If it wasn't a ghost, then where did he disappear to? Number 6, Dana. There are a number of tragic tales dotted throughout the history of the Queen Mary. One of the most tragic stories involves room B474, and what is reported to have happened
Why is that guy's picture on all
is
the?
said that a
all the
man
things?
strangled his wife and child and
I don't
left their lifeless bodies on the bed. He then made his way to the bathroom and shot his other daughter, who was in there, before taking his own life.
Dang.
Some people say that the daughter from the bathroom continues roaming the corridor of the Queen Mary ever since the incident. The girl, who was referred to by the name Dana, reportedly haunts the archive and cargo areas of the Queen Mary.
Her eyes
People
look
report
little
being
eye.
able to hear her playing and hiding among the crates.
That's your
Investigators
wife
are known to
cackling at
investigate
you, right,
the
Trini?
cargo area in the hope of finding a lost girl, and claim that they have found
She sounds
proof
like Jokey
she
Smurf.
exists in the form of misty shadows and ghostly orbs that appear in the photos they take of the area. Visitors to the ship have also reported spotting Dana wandering around the second-class pool, crying out for the mother, who she lost many years ago.
She should have learned some
Number
recipes.
5, Woman by the Pool.
Number 5.
As
Number
well as young
4.
Dana haunting the second-class
Oh,
pool,
Dinah.
there is said to be a distinctive presence lingering among the first-class pool. During times when the area is at its
Apparently,
quietest,
you're not even allowed to
visitors
go to the pool
report
area
seeing
anymore.
the infamous woman in a
They used to
bathing
allow
suit.
people to.
It's hardly an intimidating name for a ghost, of course, but it's hard to deny what an accurate description it is of the wandering ghost. Unfortunately, the passenger history of the Queen Mary is too dense to identify one particular woman. It is said that the woman appears to be in her late 20s or early 30s and wears a 1930s style bathing suit. Visitors often see the woman heading to the changing rooms, and she occasionally walks along the edge of the pool. Some say that they can see footprints and puddles appear before the ghostly woman does, as if they're heralding her arrival. Number 4. John Henry. It's rumoured that a man by the name of John Henry died near the generator room while he was working as a member of the construction crew putting the Queen Mary together in the 1930s.
Those feet look
These days,
far too, like,
the area is plagued by unexplained noises and reported sightings of a shadowy figure. People who go inside the room report being touched, having their cheeks brushed, and feeling pulled or pushed on. People have also reported seeing a man's spirit
A
looking
glory,
down on them through a hole in the ceiling
glory hole.
and then disappearing as soon as it is noticed. The
paranormal
most common
hole.
sounds heard in the area are clanks and taps
So
on the wall,
Stick it in at
which
your
is said
own
to be
risk.
consistent with the sounds made by men working on a ship. Is John Henry still working on the ship, even in death? Number 3. Jacqueline Turing. There are a number of famous spirits said to be wandering the Queen Mary, and perhaps the most famous is that of a girl named Jackie. While we don't know for sure if Jacqueline Turing did
Good old
indeed drown in
Jackie.
the second-class pool, she has apparently continued to frighten guests and investigators alike
Jackie Brown.
decades. Jackie is the most commonly recorded spirit on the Queen Mary and is known to audibly answer questions and leave behind EVP or electronic voice phenomena exchanges.
Oh, I didn't.
Tour
never
guides on the Queen
You want
Mary
me to pause
will
it?
often attempt to
Yeah,
guide
please. Yeah, you can pause it.
singing a little song.
I have a funny story that unless you had something you were going to say.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, so I mean, I have a thing. Since we're talking about the Queen Mary, I have some hilarious thing that probably none of you guys believe, but I believe that it would be kind of an interesting, kind of paradoxical thing. That so J.P. Morgan, this is something that's like a lot of people think that the Queen Mary was supposed to be the Titanic.
Yes, I read. I've seen that whole documentary.
So you're familiar with that?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell the story.
Can you tell me what the documentary is? Because I want to see the documentary you're talking
now
about.
I don't remember what it was called.
Okay,
I've seen it too.
So a lot of people, and in case you're in the chat, I'm sure you probably know this, but I firmly believe this. J.P. Morgan planned the disaster to kill his rivals. So there was like a lot of this happening. So like apparently, there's the Queen Mary and the Titanic. They're not identical ships, but they look almost exactly alike. And the Titanic never hit anything. And there's just all this. Anyway, there's
the ships, right?
Say it again.
That they swapped the ships, right?
Yeah. According to this theory, millionaire JP Morgan planned the Titanic disaster to kill off rival millionaires Jacob Astor, Isidor Straus, and Benjamin Guggenheim, who all perished on board. The theory hinges the fact that Morgan had originally planned to sail on the Titanic, but changed his mind shortly before it took off. Yet it doesn't offer any explanation of how he caused the ship to hit an iceberg overkill. Okay. So anyway, I want to see the documentary that you're referring to.
You're saying that the other ship was not too far away, right, Ben? It was a ship that they were calling for help that was really close that apparently watched the ship go down. The fact that you brought that up, a script I'm working on is about vampires, and Jesus Christ is a vampire hunter. And the script I'm working on takes place on the Titanic, and it's a trap to kill Jesus, who's a vampire hunter. And J.P. Morgan is the one who sets the trap, and it's supposed to be like a vampire buffet on the thing. And if you look up stuff about J.P. Morgan, he was missing. He looked like a monster, like he was missing his nose. He had this type of disease. I'm not sure what it was, but it makes you look like a fucking vampire. And he was creating light. There's some shit about that. So like that's why I using JP as like one of my big villains in the thing. But anyways, just sorry to go off on a tangent about that. But I love this stuff.
No, that's nuts, man. I didn't know that one. That sounds like an amazing script, dude. I can't wait to hear that story, because I was a fan of Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Yeah, well, the thing I'm doing, it's pretty much. I mean, I personally believe in like vampires and shit like that. Like, I've done a lot of research for that stuff because the stuff I've tried to write is always vampires. I love horror, but like every religion or nationality or country, they have some form of like a vampire, be it like the chupacabra. I think we talked about that last week. There's like vampires in Africa, India, Asia, like blood drinkers or, all along those lines. And it's like, I don't know. That's why I believe that.
Well, do you mean like actual paranormal vampires, or just people who drink blood, just people who are vamps who just walk around drinking blood? Or
I think that they're vampires. I think it's vampires. I think people. Yeah, I do. I think, and there's a lot of people who are celebrities. I think who are vampires, and I think that now I'm being crazy, right? But I believe generational wealth. Some of them too. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, you want to see something crazy?
Hey, did you see that picture of Greta Van Sustberg and the picture of her a long time ago?
No.
Dude, I'm looking at photos of JP Morgan right now.
You want to see something creepy? You want to, just to further your point, Kermit, look up Russian party shined eyes.
Shined eyes.
Am I gonna get haunted and like my life will be over in 7 days if I look it up? Russian what?
Russian party. I think it's like with shiny eyes. Let's see if there's a video on that, because that freaking blew my mind. You want to talk about vampires, or elitist vampires? Check this out. This is creepy. I don't know if you guys seen this. This one, actually, my wife watched with me, and she couldn't sleep because she's like, "This is messed up, man. How is this possible? How is this possible?" Basically, it's.
Are we looking at it or no?
Sorry.
Are you showing it? Because I have it on another thing. Are you showing it?
I have a video too, unless you got it already.
Show it, put it up, because I'll think. Because
do you have it, Kermit?
No, I don't. I thought I did. Sorry, guys.
I
didn't. I'm on reptilian glowing eyes in the dark, but I don't see it.
Do you guys? Okay, let me see if I can find it, because this one was like crazy. It was like basically there's like
I've got it. I think I've got it right here. I could be wrong, but if this is it, tell me if this one's it. And I'm sharing it right. Sorry, go ahead. Let's see. It says aliens reveal themselves in dark Russian nightclub. Is that?
Yes,
no?
it might be it. It might be what I'm talking about.
Okay, hold on.
Oops. It wasn't a nightclub, I don't think, but
well, let's look at it anyway and see. I don't know.
What makes it creepy is basically what's going on is there was a ceremony, a Russia with elitists from Russia, and in this video, basically the power goes out sort of like accidentally in like for like a few minutes or something, and people had their camcorders out and they were and there was a band playing. I remember there was a band playing, so it might be the nightclub. There was a band playing, and they were filming the crowd at this when it came off, and the immediate they saw when after the lights went off, the eye shine in the crowd. Almost every single person in the crowd had eye shine, and it scared the hell out of the big people in the band, and they were like freaking out. Where the hell are we? What the hell is going on? Humans' eyes don't glow like that. This was like these are like elitists, like the top of the top Russians, and yeah.
And there's video of this?
Yeah, that's where I saw it. Was in a video. We filmed it.
What color eyes? What color did the eyes glow?
No, they were just white. They were just like glowing eyes. And human eyes don't glow in the dark. We're not cats. We don't have that ability.
I was easily found.
Pictured the jaw was, but it was clear white then.
Let's see if I could find this, man. I really want to see this. Russian.
2 hours till Star Wars.
Oh.
How many? 3, 2?
2.
Dude, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, I think this is the one. I got it here.
Okay.
Let's see if I can share this. Share and share alike. Yeah, I think
it was just someone who had paused it and was talking about it.
Oh shoot. Yeah, okay, let's go back and make it bigger. What one?
friends. Hello, subs. Up in Jamaica. How you guys doing? I'm doing all right. A friend of mine here on YouTube.
That's the one that I had pulled up.
Yeah.
Now, this is a party at a nightclub in Russia thrown by the elite. Now, as the band was performing, the power went out, and these individuals, 3 of them in this nightclub, their eyes lit up, which tells me that 1, they're either extraterrestrials, or 2, they're androids.
That's quite the leap.
That this planet was infested with these things. Now, any type of a dumbed down sheeple troll type comment, and that individual will be blocked immediately. I'm gonna play this video.
When you say something like robots.
And then I'm gonna play the video in its entirety.
I bet you it's only the white people, right?
Guys, check it out.
The Russian Terminators.
Oh, what is this? Who's this dude?
Now, this guy
That's proper Jesus.
Did we see it? What did we see?
No, I think you'll go back to it.
They saw
Okay.
those aliens and their eyes lit up. They freaking got out of there immediately.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it was like
it's pretty interesting.
censored.
Explaining it to me.
Is this guy gonna get to it? Like he just like yapping?
Well, this is the exact same video I was just pulled up, and it was doing the same thing. It was kind of not going to the. It doesn't go to the actual video.
Yeah, I don't think it does.
Right there, the dark.
There you are at 308. That looks like that might be it. 308.
I see
Let's
their
see.
eyes light up right there. You see?
Oh, I see.
Dude, I think that's bullshit.
No, I've read about this. This actually happened.
I know,
I
but
read to read about this right after. This wasn't
But
bullshit.
that's just camera light reflecting off of their eyeballs. That's nothing.
like with cat,
Candlelight, then why only some of them and not all of them?
because of the angle of the reflection of the
Yeah,
light.
I agree with you, Kerm. It's the angle, the reflection of the light, completely.
I was way more thrown off by the UFO one than that one.
Yeah, that's nothing. That's just
Halftime bell just went off.
I need to go to Russia though.
I don't know. That's creepy though. I don't know. Yeah, I know you're saying, but how does an eye do that? Like I know you're saying, but look at that. How does the eye like glow like that? Like that. There's no pupils in there.
When was this from?
Eye shine, but that camera doesn't do that.
well, your eyeballs. The eyeballs are like it's like glass, right? It's like the one piece of glass, quote unquote glass, that's in that image. So the far right, to me, that's just reflection. I just see that as light reflection.
Yeah, but you're a skeptic. You don't count. I'm just kidding.
Maybe not. It's maybe not. Maybe it's real. It's possible.
Well, I mean, like I said, I don't know. When I saw that at first, I was kind of taken aback because I paused and I was like, yeah, that's kind of weird. Like I've seen eye shine in stuff like red eye or whatever, but I've never seen an eye glow like that. That's just sort of weird. But I mean, who knows, right?
It's a creepy image. I'll give you that. It's definitely a creepy image. It looks funny, looks interesting, and I mean, I've seen some elite club stuff that make your head spin.
Oh yeah, like what?
Yeah, I mean, all you got to do is pull up the channel. What's the name of that damn channel? It's called Stranger Than Fiction is the name of the YouTube channel.
Hey,
Just check.
Oh, go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, just check out his videos. He'll make your head spin, man.
Pull it up, Ben. And
You know what? I do believe that's kind of like cultish, weird stuff. I believe is that I do believe that there's some type of child sex, like a cultish devil thing in Hollywood.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
And I believe that they believe that by fucking children they can get power and devil type shit, and that the elites. They make the people who come into Hollywood do this type of shit where they have sex with children to join their cult.
Yeah,
isn't that crazy?
And they eat babies too.
I think that there was eat babies too, and like Eyes Wide Shut. Have you seen the stuff about Eyes Wide Shut?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, people think that Kubrick was killed because he was making that movie.
Right. Like
they showed it
to die.
The Scientology, right? They're based out of Hollywood.
but
Yeah,
they-
I've seen their Scientology building. It looks
Yeah.
scary.
well, I mean, I know that they do like I don't know if you've heard of the Bohemian Grove and shit, where they do those rituals and these elitists go to.
Well, wasn't it Alex Jones that
yeah, he apparently
he's the one who exposed that?
well, he infiltrated it once, and
Yeah.
like they were burning effigies and of people. Well, even the Freemasons. Like I told you guys, I was like, I was asked to be a Freemason. I had a family member that was a Freemason, so well, married to the family, so it wasn't really my family, but it was
That's
through marriage.
crazy.
And they asked me to be a Freemason because I was actually really into it, and I studied it a lot, and I wrote my book was about the Freemasons, and
I'd love to read that.
cool. It's called The Secret Quest. It's a fiction book. But
Is there a connection between the Freemasons and the Templar Knights?
well, I mean, again, even the Freemasons don't know. See, that's the thing. Like, they don't know their history. They know parts of their history, but there seems to be a connection of, at least in this regard, the Templar Knights, which were hunted down,
Right, by the French, right, and everybody.
Yes,
and the Pope.
They had to hide, and there was a lot of, like, I know in Portugal, because there was a thing called there was a version of the Knights Templar in Portugal. They were called the anyway.
Didn't they flee to? I thought they mostly fled to Swiss, right? Swiss, isn't that where we have the Swiss banking systems?
Well, I mean, the cross, anywhere you see that cross, right? The cross, the Swiss cross is part. You'll see that's like a little symbol of what used to be the Knights Templar. But I don't know. Like, again, there's no knowledge of this. There's just people who believe that this is the case. But I mean, if you go into they don't even really know a lot of that stuff, because it's so old. But we do know that Freemasons, that a lot of these Knights Templars hid within the Freemasons, and the only reason this is important is because the Freemasons were said to have discovered a lot of ancient treasures and stuff that the church was scared of.
Do you think it was okay, so there goes back to my script again. In my script, the Templar Knights discover Jesus, who's been in a tomb, just can't die. So they discover him.
Just chilling.
That's what they say. They could have discovered possibly Jesus, right? Or the cup, or I heard even John the Baptist's head.
Well, I mean, that's the thing that they say about the skull. A lot of people say that the skull in the Skull and Bones,
right,
is supposed to represent John the Baptist's head. There's a lot of, I mean, there's a lot of different theories. That's just one. I will tell you this, because the minute I've told you who I've said this on my live stream, so I'm gonna, if I get shot tomorrow, you'll know why. The main messiah of the Freemasons is his name is Hiram Abif, which is something most people don't know. So look up Hiram Abif. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Can you spell that?
Is he like the old man in Rosemary's Baby?
I haven't seen Rosemary's Baby for a long time.
Oh, you're missing out, Shane.
Well, I've seen it, but a long, long time ago. I can't remember.
I know. It's worth the rewatch, my friend.
Cool. No, Hiram Abif was an architect. He was heralded because they're Freemasons, and he was an architect that built helped build the Solomon's Temple, and he was murdered, and so he's heralded as their messiah. And actually, if you look up, because Walt Disney was a Freemason, the Wilderness Adventure ride. There's a nod to Hiram Abif in the Wilderness Adventure ride. If you pull up a picture of that, you will see it says, I think, "Here lies Hiram" or something. You see a set of tools, of building tools, and a compass. There's a lot of hidden secrets. I was going to make it, my second book was going to be about Walt Disney World, and there's like a hidden sort of secret sort of treasure that if you go to you'll find some secrets in Walt Disney World that are related to the Freemasons and the Knights Templar. It was a book. It was a fiction, obviously, but if you look up, So it's weird to say what the Freemasons are, because I spoke to multiple Freemasons in my life, and a lot of times they don't know what the hell they're even talking about, because a lot of them don't know anything. There's a cheer system, right? So you have to be like 33 degrees. And even the 33 degree, I don't think they know that much. I think there's secret higher degrees than that. I think it goes to 360
Do
degrees.
you want to share my screen? I'll have
Sure.
some. I mean,
Which one?
we don't have to make this central.
Hey guys,
And-
I'll be right back in 1 second. Sorry.
Yeah, go for it. But this is, something. This is just weird stuff that's on Stranger Than Fiction.
Where you either join or give up all your dreams of being rich and famous. Because they control everything. They control the media. You won't get 5 minutes of media time as a celebrity if you're not one of them. And so these celebrities will go to these Hollywood underground parties, have sex with 1 million old men, pedophiles that are there, the agents and the handlers that control Hollywood, control the stars, eating feces, drinking urine, having illicit sex with these old men. You give up everything
Yeah, this is
and become an abomination just for fame and fortune.
What were you gonna say? Sorry.
A lot of people have come out against this. Many people from Hollywood have said this. I think that's why they killed Michael Jackson. I think he was about to relieve a lot of that shit. I think he was killed, but that's my.
I'm with you, man. We agree on that. I agree with you on that.
Because he was talking. He was starting to talk. He was getting verbal diarrhea. They didn't want that. And I think that they just said it had enough. Because his doctor was extremely suspicious. I don't know.
And we call them the elite. Elite what? Poop eaters?
You got to come in hard. That's why that guy Trayvon's dad, he sacrificed his son. Now some of y'all don't understand that, and the reason it made so much headlines because he's a Freemason.
You guys hear about this too?
And he's a part of that brotherhood, and he's going to get all the attention in the world. All the brotherhoods wants to see him. This is his time to shine. So all the brotherhoods get to say, who's this guy getting ready to come up in the lodge? What better way to promote him than him offering his son? And they already know what it was. Oh, okay, this is it. Oh, he's going to be coming up pretty soon. So they don't have to announce it to the public, but whatever field he was in or whatever he's working, they're going to take him under their thumb. He's going to rise up. He's going to be of wealth. It's a reason for everything. And that guy sacrificed his son, man. That's why I don't speak on it a lot, because we know that's a sacrifice. Zimmerman is just playing the part. Pretty soon this thing going to be over and done with. You'll never hear about him again. As I said before, there's levels of rituals, okay? The more wealth that you have, the more rituals of sacrifices you're going to be asked to do. 98% of hip hop is gay. There's no other way to say it. 98% of them are gay. 2% of them got out. That's not many, because the majority of them love that lifestyle. Okay?
Well, according to what he goes off and on about this, and we don't have to keep watching this, you guys. But this is something that he goes on about how they just basically you turn your lives over to them, and you get this quote unquote privileged lifestyle or whatever. But as a result, you kind of give your body up, you give your life so much up, apparently, according to this guy, what he's saying. So
you gotta
anyway.
give up the booty, huh?
Yeah, they give up themselves. They give their life. I mean, there's a whole thing about how, dude, there's some crazy stuff in this. I think this is the same one, but there's a moment where they even talk about how Michael Jackson is still alive. It's insane. There's some interesting stuff that's presented. Do you believe? Yeah, I could see that.
Have you seen that white guy that looks just like him that talked with him?
Yeah. Well, he got a burn victim. Wasn't he like a burn victim or something? That
he was on Larry King. Is that the one you're talking about? The guy who was on Larry King talking about it?
Yes.
Yeah. His name's Dave.
Dave. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the most. It's actually, and I actually think this is the right video. It actually talks about it. And it shows how Disney owns everything, and they're just a bunch of crazy. Anyway, but I think this is the right one. I could be wrong. I think this is the wrong one. But yeah, pretty amazing, pretty incredible stuff. We might all be dead tomorrow.
No.
Well, that sucks.
Then Alex Jones would have been gone a long time ago.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We're not. We're just supposing things. I think, and we don't have a big enough audience. If we did, maybe. I I think there's so many things going on at the same time. I do think like human beings, there's just so many sickos, right? I mean, in this world, and yeah, and when you have money, you become, it's like almost like a disease of the brain, even more. And you start believing that you're big, and you start believing you're better than everybody else, especially when you are considered supposedly elite. You start believing that about yourself, and you know, and I do think that a lot of these celebrities do sell themselves to, yeah, I do believe a lot of that's going on in Hollywood, especially back in the day with The Rock. I think Rock was like one of those, you know, crazy things where all that shit was happening.
Like The Rock, like the WWF.
No, The Rock, like rock and roll, like back in the day. Like I think a lot of them were into that stuff. Yeah. But if you actually look online, because I've seen, if you look at Instagram and look up or Hear My Beef, which is a secret code, you'll get a lot of these weird people who are just like into some weird cult shit that you wouldn't like. You're like, what the hell am I watching here? Oh, and sorry guys, go on. I don't want to.
So we're going to talk about.
Oh, it's totally okay. Go for it. You keep talking. I'm just pulling stuff up that I think is relevant to what
Oh
we're
yeah,
talking
go,
about.
Shane. I was listening, man.
So,
go ahead, Shane.
I'm trying to remember my train of thought now. What was I saying before I interrupted myself? I just
about the dude.
About
the dude.
Hello?
You were talking about just how people are. I found the video that I was talking about, and I'll show it to you in a second here. But you were talking specifically about how people get turned into this, people get transformed by, the drunkenness of power, being drunk on power and that type of thing, or being kind of stuck in a situation. You can get stuck in these situations.
Well, people do have sold themselves. Like I've heard multiple stories of people. Oh, that's the guy. Yeah, that is the guy. Sorry.
No,
sold themselves into like slavery.
Dave.
Sorry,
it's Dave.
Yeah, this is a hilarious story. I mean, he goes off about he tells a story about how he went to a movie with Michael Jackson, and Michael had actually the name for his because they had to go under incognito, so he named himself. He put on sunglasses and stuff and named himself Dave.
Yeah,
and so it's just hilarious that like now, I don't know if you guys want to hear it, but this is a pretty amazing story.
Well, just before you do that, because I'll
of course.
There's a guy who actually did the facial structure comparison between this dude and Michael Jackson, and they actually match perfectly. The eyes,
really,
the nose. Yes, he like superimposed like one picture over another, and then took it off and on. He would go back and forth.
Holy cow!
Well, where's Dave at now? Is he dead?
Let's find out. So, I mean, you guys, we could start closer. The story these guys are telling, it's just incredible. Say it again.
Is that Method Man?
Let me go back. Let me find out.
That looks like Dirty Old Bastard.
That is. Yeah.
They forget what they say. They contradict a lot of things they say. And you probably say, well, Yash, I don't get it. A lot of them don't have to listen.
You put a ladder, or is it?
Isn't that crazy? She just kind of falls over.
Well, women always, they can't handle the spotlight.
Well, that happened to Judge Judy actually one time during one of the shows.
This guy too. Check it out, man.
You understand?
So this whole
just making a point where
they just shut down.
Well, this whole video is about clones. Okay.
Yeah.
The idea that just anyone in the chat, if you're seeing this for the first time, this whole video is about clones. The person who's talking about this, he firmly believes that all these people are clones.
Guys, before we go into that, let's just say something.
Hold on. This guy doesn't have any cousins that are obviously they don't have cousins that are diabetic.
Oh, yeah.
True. But besides that, but like besides these pictures, here's the thing I always find funny. How people sometimes we don't have clones. We've cloned a sheep. This was when did we clone a sheep? In the 90s?
In the early 90s, I believe.
In the early 90s. You're telling me that these elitists, these top people, these crazy wacko scientists, you're telling me that in all this time, after cloning a sheep, they just said, let's just stop there.
Well,
we don't have to go any further now.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Shaney, but then I also think, okay, then that same thing should apply to when we see those Northern Lights things that you're showing us. Like, yeah, drones weren't in, but then drones could have been out then too. Because, the drones and all the technology was invented way before we got access to it.
But you're supposing something. I know for a fact that a clone happened.
You don't.
We know that that happened.
You're right. You're right. You do know that usually like the R&D of the Army invents technology before we get it. Or I don't know. It's just if they invented a drone, when did we first get drones?
Well, first of all, drones. Have you seen drones? I've seen drones. They make a loud noise when they're in the air. So that first of all takes away the drone thing from that. They made noise.
Well, I've seen like little drones around here, like for a camera, and it didn't make much noise. I mean, I don't know.
I think it's backward engineered alien technology that they used that they had back in the 1970s.
Or
But
the reverse engineering, yeah.
I think that's what that was. I think it's reverse engineered. What's his name was talking about, Bob Lazar. I think that they reverse engineered something, and that's where they got that technology. But what I think is that because drones just make way too much noise, especially in that time. Like even like they make noise now. Why wouldn't they make noise then? But what I'm saying is that's still something we still have to speculate. Where we know 100% fact, at least what they've told us, is that they've cloned a sheep, and who's to say that they just stopped there? Like, why would they? Why would they stop there? We just clone the sheep. Let's not go do any more. You know
Yeah,
what
I mean, like let's clone some bugs, let's clone some fish, let's see how much we could clone, what we could clone.
And then we'll clone Kanye West.
He's one of the rejected.
Dude, you see the chin on this woman? Did you see the big girl? She looks just like Chris Farley. Also, if you put Greta Van Sustren's face next to Putin, they look identical too.
I don't think that's that. I mean, yeah, exactly. That does look at
Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, is that the Ice King?
Yeah, yeah.
The Night King. Yeah, the Night King.
It took me a while to figure out what you're talking about, like Ice King. Watch out, areas behind you.
Hey, dude, I wish Putin was our president.
Farrakhan is chipped.
Are they going to put him next to the Night King too?
He got the same chipping process as Gaddafi.
I believe that clones could exist, but I don't.
I wouldn't be surprised if they clone Farrakhan.
Hey, he got the same clone haircut as LeBron James.
Hey, that's the Billy D. Williams style on the side of his head.
Kill Farrakhan and keep because they want to work his mind. The man is very intelligent. See, a lot of times they want to keep you alive just to pimp your brain. And when they put you under hypnosis and MLK and they can chip you, you totally submissive to them. Do you know when they put a chip in your body that they can go all the way back 30, 40 years and you can tell them things that you didn't want to tell them? This is how powerful their technology is.
Dirty here just to keep it dirty. Dirty.
This is actually scary stuff.
That's why he goes by the name of Dirt McGirt.
Actually,
yeah. Black Jesus. ODB.
Let me document you, man, and just let it all out. And he says, they're not ready for me to speak right now. They don't want
maybe Sarkeesian is a clone.
Let me ask you a question.
Dude, I actually
everything that we're saying, y'all gonna film, y'all gonna put out, right?
I could see that. I could see Sarkeesian as a clone.
So the good,
She's there to cause
shit y'all gonna edit,
controversy.
the bad shit y'all gonna give to the government, right?
Come. Why should we?
So what y'all gonna do with y'all gonna
Black Hat Info wants us to do a split screen between Tom Cruise and Miles Fisher to see.
Dude, hey, you guys got to see the Greta Thunberg.
No, it's no problem. It's no
What?
I don't know how to do the screen share stuff, but if somebody can
I
do
want to make sure that
Greta Thunberg and her clone.
In May
So, Greta,
2003,
Okay, I don't know.
ODB
Someone has
was
to like.
finally released
I can't
on
even.
parole.
Do you want me to turn it down? Sorry, I'll turn the volume down.
Yeah. What's you said? Greta who?
Thunberg or Thornburg, whatever her name.
Oh, her and
Have you seen her doppelganger?
no.
Just the dude Greta Van Thunberg, Greta time travel, it'll come up.
Is that the girl that's protesting like the
Yeah, they
environment?
got a giant face of her on a skyscraper in San
Her-
Francisco now.
Her clone is the guy, the Situation from Jersey Shore.
He actually looks just like Putin, dude.
Situation.
Oh, who's doing the screen sharing? Can one
They
you guys?
got the same,
You got
they
it
got
up?
the same face.
Can one you guys check out? I don't know how to do it.
Oh, I jumped off, but I can. Yeah, tell me. I'll look it up. What is it?
Greta Time Traveler.
Okay. Like, is it a video or just images?
It should be images.
That'd be funny if she was like, and that's why she's so mad because she like.
That's why her face twitches. She has resting twitch face.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say before. Actually, now. While we wait for him to put it up,
Go ahead, Shane. Yeah.
I was gonna say that like the thing about a lot of this cult stuff. If you look into like, I don't know if you guys read the Da Vinci Code. Did you guys read the Da Vinci Code?
No, but I watched the movie.
Well, the whole I don't know if the movie touched upon this as well as the book did, but the book was the whole surrounding thing of the Da Vinci Code was about the sacred feminine and how. And when you look at a lot of these sort of, I guess, new these sorry, these new age cult things that are going like the new age stuff. A lot of people, they believe like the Vitruvian man and stuff like that is the perfect balance between the sacred feminine and the masculine. And a lot of people believe that the reason why the world is in such turmoil with all that stuff has to do with the fact that the masculine, right, has been overtaken the feminine for so long, and that we don't have perfect balance. And what we need is perfect balance in order for the world to progress. And so that's why I always found that book very suspicious how popular it got really fast. But it was all about the sacred feminine. Da Vinci was about the sacred feminine and all that stuff. And now you look at what's happening today and you see with the push for feminist stuff and what's going on with the 50-50 and trying to get everybody even. I've always thought that this is part of that push, that they're trying to push this sacred feminine without us knowing, to balance the you know what I mean?
But it's already imbalanced. They can give birth to babies. That's already an imbalance. Like what?
They're just saying like there's other channels that do it better than they explain it better than me. But what they do is they're talking about how in society there should be like basically it all comes down to the golden ratio, and everything has to be sort of a perfect numerical number, and we don't have. There's like not enough basically in every sort of and every sort of thing in our civilization, males always trump women as far as numbers and things like that. Therefore, that's why our civilization is not up to par. And usually the feminine is designed with a curve. Men are just sort of rigid lines. And that's why you see the Vitruvian man was displayed with Da Vinci's Vitruvian man, like he was demonstrating, and even the people speculate that what's her name, the Mona Lisa was actually him in drag. He was because he was apparently gay, or he was you believe he was a woman, and he was hiding it the whole time, and so. There's a lot of speculation about that. So it's just kind of interesting that we have this push for feminism right now and how hard it is. And and what's going on. It almost seems like it's unnatural, right? The push.
Yeah. What we need like the purge, but just put your bitch in check day.
Well, I mean, I can get behind, if it was true, but I mean, it's just like.
Well, it's like in general, our society, rewards people based on merit, based on work, on how hard they work at creating things in society, and this constant push for equality, for outcome as opposed to equality of just opportunity.
It's equity, though,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like there's a lot. I mean, it's like that's a huge thing. It's like where do you start though? So it's like if you want to provide some sort of equitous advantage to people based on their demographic, like it's like any point that you take it outside of that, you're losing ground because there's nothing to build from. So there's nothing.
Everything should be judged like what would the NBA do? or the NFL. That's how I feel. Like, that's like one of the true businesses that's left that judges you on what value you provide.
Well, it's
But
like
you
yeah,
see,
people,
that's why they're trying to kill capitalism, because it goes against the whole point of what they're trying to do. Because if they're trying to create, because we all know that obviously, if if we're trying to create a society in which everybody is equal or whatever, you can't be, you can't have men and women. You can't have capitalism, because capitalism means like it's all based on supply and demand.
They're changing. It's not just, we're not even talking like socialism economically necessarily. They're trying to do socialism within men and women, within men and women, within video games, within everything socialism. There's everybody.
They want it in everything. They want the sacred feminine and the balance of the Vitruvian man represents in everything. And that's that's my belief. That's what's going on, because none of this is natural. If it was going by just market value and capitalism and sales, this would make sense, but it doesn't. I don't think people like Sarkeesian know what the hell they're doing. I don't think they know anything about it. I think they're just being used as tools, for that.
Well, speaking of tools, that reminds me of the big theory that's going on right now that everybody is touting, and that's just simply that they just want, like, the globalists, the giant corporate mindset people, the people who are literally controlling the world, have the ability to create more workers. How do you create more workers? Get women outside of the home and get them to work. And that's essentially what's happening. You're taking women outside, and instead of the women depending on a man or dependent on a family or trying to create a family, they are dependent on the government. And so as a result, all they are is a worker bee. And this person becomes a worker bee, providing for the government or providing for the corporations, and not and being unhappy, essentially. I don't know. That's a big theory right now. So is this the one you're talking about? Is this the, I don't know if this is the image you're talking. Is it that?
Hermit? Oh, he might.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That looks like it's photoshopped, but what do you guys think of that one?
Well, it's hard to say it's photoshopped right off the bat. You have to actually inspect it. But let me see.
Right.
Can you get closer?
Let's see if I can. It's like always weird. I can't wait till I get an upgrade on my live stream business, because this is something that's hard to do without. I can't see. How do I get the image larger?
We need Greta to tell off Kathleen Kennedy, to tell her, how dare you? How dare you?
It looks a lot like
the Star Wars franchise.
It does look a lot like her. Is this girl Swedish too, or where's she from? This one.
Here, let me show you my screen.
But it's not her. I don't believe it's her.
You don't think so?
No, I'm judging the eyebrows, the nose, the dimensions of the mouth. They look similar, but they're not. For her to be a time traveler, they'd have to be exact. Maybe it's her past life.
You think that's photoshopped hair?
No, I don't think it's photoshopped. I think it's just a girl that looks very similar.
What do you think, Kerm? You think it's real?
I think that it could be, and that could be a reason why she's always twitching.
I think it's funny that it decided to grab someone who's actually mentally not completely all there to push their narrative.
Can you Google Ben? Can you check out now her on the San Francisco building? She looks exactly like Putin.
You mean the painting?
San Francisco building?
Yeah.
Greta Thunberg, the San Francisco treat.
Yeah, right.
She looks like Putin. She looks like Macaulay Culkin.
Like put your fingers around her, like, so you just see her eyes and nose. It looks like exactly like Putin.
Where San Francisco painted this?
Yes, dude.
God help us.
This is where I'm at, man.
Dude, I feel your pain, man. I feel your pain.
I think we must have something like this here in Canada. They must.
It's enormous.
We're just as dumb.
Like, if you're like above a certain floor in the city, that's what you see.
Like, that's the only thing.
Yeah, she does. I've seen other people say this, but I thought it too. She hella looks like Vigo from Ghostbusters too.
Vigo.
yeah, you're so right. You are so right, dude. Exactly. That's the
Vigo.
Right when you said that, I knew it. Right when you said that, I knew it. That is hilarious.
Might be a Gozerian.
Did you guys want to see the Michael Jackson bit, or do we want to? I mean, we're getting an hour and 30, but
yeah.
I'm not. I don't care. I'm having a blast. I hope everybody in the chat is having a blast.
Yeah, you know, I'm on Disney Plus and I keep refreshing it, but there's still no episode 3 yet.
So you have to restart your computer?
You think it's going to be out before? Well, it's where DBS. You're over with me.
Yes.
You come out to midnight, right?
Yeah, something like that. Midnight.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've got at least another hour or two, whatever. But what I'm saying is, do you guys even want to see the Dave thing? I can just close it. I have it available still. So
yeah.
All right.
Put it on. Do
it's.
it.
I mean,
Do
it was.
now.
Yeah.
Come on.
Do it.
Yeah. Stop whining.
Stop your whining now.
Put it up on the damn
Right
screen and do it.
She came from the future to save us. She's like, hello there. I have come from the future because you have killed my childhood.
I'm Greta.
I am Greta Thunberg. I'm going to need your clothes now. Give it to me.
I'm here to scold Kathleen Kennedy. How dare you?
How dare you?
There's no source material. How dare you?
I love it how she said there's no source material when there's like hundreds of books and comics. She's so freaking stupid. I cannot believe how stupid she is. So it's there. Can you share it, Shaney?
Yeah, I'll do it.
I don't know why I can't make the damn.
In the early 90s, but they was using his clones to have fun with you.
Show Hatman trailer. Okay, let's show the Hatman trailer.
He acted just like him. Michael Jackson
After.
is not dead.
Michael Jackson
doesn't look anything the way he did. The slim Michael Jackson, because they know that's what y'all like. The Michael Jackson that y'all saw dancing with James Brown, that was a clone. They had to keep fixing on it because the clone was breaking down. He wasn't going in surgery.
Michael Stark, is it a documentary? Let me know if, because I have something up now, so when it's ready to go.
On the clone of Michael, who was alive.
Well, let me go full screen. God damn it!
The dance with James Brown. Okay, that.
I always found it crazy how he could do that with his legs. This guy was a phenomenal dancer.
When they cloned it, Michael.
I bet you're a good dancer, huh, Shane?
No,
don't grow hair.
I cannot dance. There's certain things that just when I was back in the day when I was younger, I used to break dance. I actually used.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, not now.
If you're a person that have long hair,
now I
clone you. That's how the clone gonna look. When they cloned Michael Jackson, his hair was never attached because
can't hear what he's saying. Is that my thing?
That was cloned. His head was in a third to fourth degree burn in Pepsi commercial.
You guys remember that? Do you guys remember that? The Pepsi commercial?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Pepsi. Very badly burned.
I laughed when I heard.
You're mean.
So they cloned.
Did you hear?
A lot of
Jackson's face got burned.
But he's saying that this is where they switched him. This is where they switched him with a clone. So in 1989 or whatever.
Well, and then they did a horrible job. They should have recloned him again because he just went downhill. They should have been like, "This clone is there's something wrong with this clone. We're gonna have to make a new one."
They changed everything about him. In the end, when Michael was looking really, really bad, the clone body was breaking down because clones don't think like humans. Clones have to have people around them to tell them what they do because they get adolescence. They can't think properly. It's called
Hey, Amateur aliens. Yeah, I've got the right one then. You want
I'll just go forward to the Dave part. So they show him on Larry King here.
Will you see that symbol? I see a lot of people making that symbol that he's doing with the horned.
Joining us now here in Los Angeles, Miko Brando, who was with us almost every night after this untimely passing. Longtime Michael Jackson funeral.
Yeah, I was about to say the exact same thing.
Yes, that's his name.
Captain Lou Albano.
Holy he was set on fire.
This guy's not a real person.
Suffered, as you can see,
anyway,
so is Dave alive? What's up with Dave?
And paid for a lot of
Did you?
It's something like Michael Jackson would make up to Dave. Dave, here's my name. Don't be ignorant. Dave.
Liberate myself from the confines of my father's criminality.
He caused the fire.
Yeah.
You know what? Nowadays, if you saw him, you'd be like, "Oh, it's a transgender."
caused all this. To free myself of his name and his legacy, I decided to become my own person through changing my name.
How do you find out?
He sounds like Michael.
Not
No?
really. I
He
know
heard
voices.
about me, and he had
His
contacted
voice
me and
is
wanted
the
to meet.
nuances are different. I can tell.
Okay.
was about
Well, anyway,
7 years old at
Unless
the
he's
time.
unless he's got like some like thing he's doing to hold.
Let's see this guy dance.
Well, wouldn't you try to change your voice if you're trying to be Dave?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
also, if I was trying to be Dave, would I be on television telling everybody I was Michael Jackson?
If you were fucking psycho enough to think that you could become Dave, you might.
No, I mean I guess it's possible. I mean, I've seen, like I said, this when I saw them like superimpose Michael's face to that, I thought it was pretty interesting too. So I don't know, like it's who the heck knows, right? But for me, I don't look at voice; I look at inflections because that's when you're doing impressions. The inflections are actually more important than the voice.
So you think that's definitely not him?
I don't know, definitely, because he could be
Okay.
changing his inflections based. He could be changing.
What's inflections mean?
Say that again, Kerm.
What's inflections mean?
Basically, it's the tone of voice that you use when you talk. Sometimes it's low, sometimes it's high, right? So if I like,
So
if I-
pitch change. It's
like
pitch
Captain
change.
Kirk.
Yes.
You're
So-
talking like Captain Kirk.
Yes, it's like if you're gonna do Captain Kirk, you're gonna have to learn how those inflections.
Very entertaining.
So inflections implies rhythm then too.
Yes, like I did that Yoda video where you can talk like this and be Yoda all you want. Hi, I am Yoda, but there's a problem, right? It sounds like Yoda, but it isn't Yoda. The reason why is the inflections are off. Up and down he is. Talk up, down. Right? There's like even like if you do Marge, everyone goes, "I'm Marge Simpson. I talk like Marge," but Marge has a way of going up.
Wow.
Hey, homie. Right?
God, dude, you're so on money on that.
What?
He has whole videos of doing like every Simpsons character on the show.
I've seen that, dude. But the Marge one is I think Marge might be the most money. I don't know.
Well, it's because I mean, you know, I learned this from Dana Carvey because it's funny because I actually used to study Dana Carvey used to say even more important than the voice was the inflections. He would
you can get the voice itself, but then actually mimicking the rhythm and the tone.
Yeah. Exactly. He goes, that was more important than the voice, even though you have to do the voice. So what he would do, and I learned it from him, was I would basically take like one sentence, like, you know, just say any sentence like, beam me up, Scotty, right? Just take that exact same sentence, just say it over and over again. Get the pitch exactly the way you want to do it. And just remember the rhythm of the guy when he talks. A little fast, then slow. Sometimes when he makes a point, he wants you to know. Then it goes really fast again, then back to slow, right? There's just these are the things you got to learn when you're doing them. Like Dana Carvey was the guy who taught me. Not personally, although I wish.
Dana Carvey is definitely probably one of the most underrated people. Like, I think probably one of the more underrated comedians of the 90s, I think.
Well, he was great at inflection, but his voice never matched. That's his biggest problem as an impressionist. His voice was never like the greatest. Like he could do certain people, like he did George Bush, right? And he do, you know, Ross Perot and those ones. But the voices were, his voice was similar, but he could never get the inflections. And then Jim Carrey, that guy, he was one of the best, the greats in that as well. So let's look at the video that I have before we go. It's the trailer that.
How dare you?
Ask number one, where's him? I love doing that one. I did a stand-up routine where I made fun of like Star Trek, where I'd be like, number one, I'm going for the number two. Like, no one ever takes a shit in Star Trek. You ever notice that? There's like no toilet ever anywhere.
Well, it's like the same with Star Wars too. I mean, the Mandalorian is the first time that we learn of poop. Where they first talk about poop in Star Wars, and it's mentioned twice in the first episode. They're talking about bathrooms and poop all the time. Constant poop jokes.
Well, it's Disney now; they own it. So
yeah, it's like.
Let's see, where is Hat? Okay, I got this documentary all loaded up, ready to go. Oh my.
Ooh.
That's a white hole.
Like a white hole, bunghole. Shut up. Hold on, I gotta pause. Can we like go now? Are you done with your laughing? Damn it, fart knocker.
Wow, dude.
All right, put on the goddamn thing. I tell you what.
Louder.
I've seen the Hatman dive in the doorway, which gave me a real sense
That's freaky, man.
What is that, the Thunderman?
Thinking DBS.
Stares at you because he's just this tall.
What is that, Slenderman?
So it's like you can't see any of his features.
Ben, you could be him for Halloween.
Eyes are his mouth.
Say it again.
You could be Slenderman for Halloween. You know, you're so tall.
Yeah, it's like
It's trying to rationalize the irrational. You can't. That's what makes it irrational. So it's always.
Yeah, that looks like Vader. Ralph McQuarrie's version of Darth Vader.
Prepare for it, even though I know what to expect. It's fresh and new every single time.
Because I thought I was crazy for so many years. I didn't even know there was a whole thing about this guy until not too long ago when I just Googled his appearance and everything popped up.
I'd do her.
Hard yes.
it's freaky.
I think that he is Lucifer in the flesh, honestly. Doorway, and he was slowly coming out like he got to his shoulders.
I want to see that documentary.
The Hat Man.
Have you guys seen that? This reminds me big time of the Shadow Man episode of the Twilight Zone from the 1980s.
I never watched the Twilight Zone was released in the 1980s.
Well, it was originally
there was like a re-release in the 80s.
Yeah, I mean they've done it several times throughout.
It was like new shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were new episodes. This was this.
Check those out.
That's the one with also Captain Kirk, right? That was the one where he had the gremlin on the wing. There's something on the wing. Sorry.
That was a remake. That was a remake, but that was a remake, but that was from the movie.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right.
That was Twilight Zone the movie. My family watched a ton of Twilight Zone when I was a kid, so I remember these things. But because most of it was usually like PG-13 or whatever. But the Twilight Zone episode here that it's 1985 when I was 10. That was it was kind of a weird situation. I mean, do you guys want me to tell the story of the episode?
Yeah.
Or do you guys want to keep watching this? It's an interesting story because it's a common and cliche story, but I am the Shadow Man, and his whole thing is I do not harm the person whom's bed I live. So he lives under these people's beds, and he comes out from under the bed, and he doesn't harm the person that he lives under the bed, and so people use him to kill. It's kind of like Death Note, same type of thing, same concept, so they can use him to. Anyway, it might be a horrible episode. I haven't seen it since the 80s, so it might actually be bad. I don't remember. It's an interesting story, though, because a lot of people will use him to get at their enemies, but then he decides to go a little rogue, so it's pretty interesting.
I got to check that out.
It might suck. I don't remember because it's been so long since I've seen it. Just to make a quick warning.
Cheney. We need Cheney back to come back to his own live stream.
Since we have a lull, I want to make a quick prediction. Do you guys think that for the Mandalorian? Do you think that I have a prediction that the Doctor is actually? Oh, well, I'll do it later.
Yeah.
Cheney's back.
Who's the Doctor?
I think he's actually going to be a clone. I think he's going to be. This is just a possibility. He might be one of Jango Fett's clones.
Whoa.
I don't know, because he's wearing because if you look at it, I mean, watch our video that we made with all of us on it, and he's got the insignia, the clone insignia that he's wearing, and he's wearing the same type of jacket too. I mean, I think that they're trying to make him into maybe one of Jango Fett's clones. I could see that.
Wouldn't he be looking Polynesian a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't look up the exact ethnicity as far as his ethnicity is.
Like the Aryan race, and Jango Fett's Samoan looking.
Yeah. To me, they might do. I don't know. I could be.
No, that's good too, though. I like it.
Maybe it's a possibility because he's wearing the same damn clothes. Like you say, it's like the shirt, everything is exactly the same, right, Cheney?
Cheney clone.
I am a clone. You have figured me out.
Wow. It's pretty evil, Shaney.
One of these things just don't belong here.
You've tapped into the unknown.
I tapped into the Shaneyverse. So yeah, I'm a clone. I just wanted you guys all to know that.
Thanks.
One Cheney has to kill the other. One Cheney has to kill the other Cheney to become the one.
I killed the one.
Hello?
All right, enough. Get out of here. Stop it. What happened?
Yeah.
I just killed everybody.
Do you want us to leave?
No,
okay.
I play with myself.
So we're going on DBS's channel next
Yes.
the Mandalorian episode, right?
Yes,
So
we're going. I plan to spoil the hell out of it.
So in case anybody's watching, that's where we'll be in about an hour or two.
If you get us offended by spoilers, sorry, but that's what I do. I spoil it. I like spoiling it. I like ruining
I like
it
spoiling. I still like spoiling.
Yes, I like to ruin it for people.
You're like
all right, guys. Holy shit! Why? I thought
I get joy. I take joy from this.
You're the Brett Kavanaugh of spoilers.
Yeah. Oh, Yoda.
So I don't know. I don't know how to stop this. I started something and now
Mute one of them.
I deleted one.
He deleted himself.
All right. Here I am. Can you hear me now?
Now we lost Ben. Here we go.
We're playing shuffle the deck. All right, guys. So today, guys, thank you guys for coming. This was awesome. I love having these streams. Are always fun for me. And yeah, I guess we'll reconvene. In I think whose channel are we reconvening in?
DBS.
DBS, your channel.
Saber by death.
Death by Saber. Yep. And sorry, thank you guys for showing up. Thank you, Cole Hahn. Thank you, Black Hat Cinephile. Thank you, Michael Stark. Thank you. Thank you. Who else is here? Thank you, Amethyr Aliens. And you guys, like I said, do the reach around for you guys. If you guys haven't seen any, Mad Mama's Bear. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, Mad Mama's Bear. If you're still there, I want to hear your stories. I really want to hear your stories. So next time we should get you on the channel.
Fatal J, thank you for showing up as well. Snow Dub showed up too, and all the rest. So guys, yeah, so that's it, right? We're heading out. Right, so until next time, guys, I'll see you guys later.
See ya.
Peace.